path because I grew up on movie sets. You know, my mother worked at Paramount when I was growing up, and so I would visit her regularly. And you know, she would take me. One of the shows she was working on was The Mod Squad, and you know, I would sit in Clarence William III's director's chair and watch them film, and I was like in love with that show, and I wanted to be Peggy Lipton, you know, and
oh my God, me too.
What, you did too? Well, I knew we had something in that, so you know, and yet it didn't have that kind of draw to me, and I went to school for journalism. And because I was always writing for the school paper, and I really wanted to you know, be like a broadcast journalist. But I had to take a speech class for part of my credit. And somebody told me to audition for the school play. And like on a sort of whim, I did, and got the part. Yeah. And even then, it wasn't until I got this amazing teacher. I got into a workshop that sort of like cracked all of this open to me and showed me what was possible to be on stage and embody this kind of work and this script. So it got really exciting at that point forward.
You know, when you studied theater at Brandeis.
Yeah, I was going to just say what really was for me actually one of the times was when. Because I had been sort of pushed to perform when I was a kid, and I had done a lot of dance and, you know, and singing, and then I had done acting since I was 8. And I was like, I liked it, but I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm sure I want to do this. But I felt that I was constantly sort of told that's what I should do. And I think though when I was in college and I did the Children's Hour, and I had a teacher who was very Stella Adler. She's a great acting teacher, and it was sort of amazing because it opens up a whole other way of looking at what acting is, and you bring it all in. You see theater history, and you see analyzing the text, and you get into character, and it becomes so fascinating. And maybe that's kind of what you were saying. It becomes so like it's never old, and that changed a lot. And I know for me then also, when I went to Brandeis and we would make our own rock musicals and we had film in it, and it was a period where anything was possible. And there were funds at that time. There no longer are the same kind of funding in the arts, but it was remarkable. So I felt like, wow, you can do anything and you can really say something and you can try to change the world. And that was really, I think, what got me more and more into wanting to act and direct, was the idea that the arts are very important to my life and everyone's life, really. It's our culture.
You know, the audition process is a rite of passage every time you're going after a role. And, you know, was there ever, like, to this day, whether you got the gig or not, an audition that you went in for and you just crushed it? And even if you didn't get the show or the play or the job or whatever, an audition process where you went in and you just felt...
I mean, I crush all my auditions.
That is a great answer.
I'm Dr. Crusher, so...
There actually was Marina and I talk about this all the time, and I guess where you go in and you do great. Not only you feel that you did great, but everybody is just like, oh my God, that audition. And people are crying, and they're, it's just, you walk out of there and you never did it. And then you go in there and you do an audition, and it's okay. No, everybody's, people aren't responding. They're kind of like, yeah, whatever. Thank you. And you leave, and the agent goes, so what'd you think? I said, I don't know. I don't think anybody was cared. Anybody cared? And they go, they thought you were wonderful. So whenever I tell somebody, so how'd it go? oh, it was just great. They were laughing, they were crying. I said, didn't get it, did you? No. But it is it's a very strange process,
Sure.
especially these days.
How about you, Denise? You have like any?
Well, it's all over the place. I mean, once you just have this incredible moment and everything's firing and you're just cooking and you don't get it. And so it's impossible to gauge. And, one acting teacher told me once is, forget about auditioning, just act. They're little acting moments for you to practice your craft and, just do it, fulfill it that way.
Yeah.
And, that just take it as that opportunity.
Well, your audition for Next Gen wasn't you were going for Troy.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, that was the first couple of audition rounds I had was.
How long were you guys' auditions? It was like months, wasn't it? Or was it?
I don't know that it was months. I think I at least read 5 times. Yeah. Maybe 2 as Counselor Troy, and then they switched us.
I read once, and then the next time I read was with Will, and that was it. But I remember one of my auditions was for George Abbott. I think it was the first audition I had ever done in New York City, and he's amazing and had done so many Broadway shows and everything. And I was terrified. And I had been practicing this song because I had loved the movie when I was a little girl, with a song in my heart, okay? Yes, I know. So anyway, I go in there and I give them the music. He goes, I love this song, with the song in my heart. And they go, and I try to sing, and I'm so nervous, I cannot get air out even. And he says, that's okay, try again. We tried again, nothing. And it was like, and it was almost funny, and I started laughing finally, and I said, sir, I have a song in my heart, but it just will not come out. And he laughed, and that was it, and obviously I didn't get the job, but it was like so humiliating. But there you go, whatever.
Actually, one other thing about auditioning, my favorite auditions are always just meetings with people. There's a handful of directors that you never read the script. They want you to tell them, they want to know about you. Elia Kazan was famous for that. He would, I hope you guys please tell me you know who Elia Kazan is. Okay, good. I know you're smart. I know you guys are a smart group of people, but some young actors don't even know who Elia Kazan is. But he would never read a script or an audition. He wanted you to talk about your family. Do you have siblings? What's your life like? How'd you get here today? Did you drive? Do you drive? I mean, and he learned more about that, and if you were right for the role. And that's just, it's so much better.
Well, and also, Woody Allen, I was cast in Hannah and Her Sisters, and I had 5 scenes, and then I actually had an skiing accident, and I lost everything. But this was my audition. He doesn't like to plan, and so I was shopping at the grocery store. I get a call from my agent. Woody would like to see you for the movie, and he's at this address. And I said, well, I'm wearing this like weird outfit. And he said, that's the way Woody likes to see people, there's no preparation. Be there in 15 minutes.
Wow.
So I went over, and you're so nervous, and I'm like, what? He doesn't let you see what the parts are that you're auditioning for. What it is his casting person had seen me in a play. That's how I think how he does his casting. But anyway, he opens the door to this vast, I could see that it was a vast office. Doesn't invite you in, so I'm in the hallway, and I said, hi, yeah, I'm here for the audition. Yeah, yeah, great. Okay, thank you, great. And I got yes, and it was like, I didn't even get in the door, and He was more nervous than I was. It was the most bizarre thing, and I think he just wanted to, just like, what does she look like, I guess, you know, anyway.
Yeah, so recent last month, I binged on a movie series. Binging is fun. It is so fun, binge. So this movie series, Michael, the first movie in this series was your first movie. What did I watch?
Rocky.
Yes! Rocky!
And I bet you didn't see me in there, did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
But you did make it. You were there.
I was there.
So what was it just like being on a major film set like that, and you know, Carl Weathers, and you know, that's got to be like, I did it. I'm in, and you know.
Well, once again, that was the first little bit part that I had, and I wasn't, I was not really. That wasn't my gist. I was wanting to direct, and so this was one of those things where they said, "Hey, would you come and do this?" And blah blah blah. But the amazing part of that, and this goes how studios and execs have turned out in those days, was that the studio, everyone didn't want that movie. The studio hated the movie. They hated the idea of the movie. They, I mean, it just went on and on and on. I mean, the director, they said, this is your last chance because if you don't have it, I mean, they didn't want slide. I mean, it was just like, it was really weird. And cut to, I don't know, 30 years later, I was doing a movie called Slave with Sylvester Stallone. And we're in a card game, and we're sitting there talking, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, I gotta tell you something. I did this, and I told him where I was, and I was Apollo Creed's bodyguard. And I said, the most amazing thing that I remember about that is that in between the fight scenes, he's laying on a table, a massage table, getting massage, and rewriting scenes. Just, I mean, he was just on like crazy. And I said, yeah, I just remember it. He says, I said, and nobody wanted that movie. He says, no one. He says, there was actually a guy, this one scene that he needed to have in the movie, they said he got to have, which is where he's drunk. And he said, I've got to do this. And the studio said, no, you cannot have one scene. It's going to cost too much money. This movie is going to go nowhere, whatever the case. And there's a saying in our business where you got to pull the plug, right? Okay, we got to pull the plug on this. There was actually a guy who was standing near the generator that ran all the lights, and he was there. And if they went past the time or tried to do part of it more than one or two takes, he was going to pull the plug out of the generator and shut down the thing, so they wouldn't. And here we are. I don't know how many they've made, several $1 billion.
And it won the Academy Award for Best New Picture. So, and they not too shabby.
And they didn't want it.
It's like, it's Hollywood is full of stories where, they didn't want this and they want that, and it winds up like being like the greatest TV show ever, the greatest movie ever.
Hey, let me tell you something. When we finished our last movie, they were done with Star Trek. They had sold everything off. That's Star Trek. We're done with that. I mean, they were through. And
Now look at it.
huh?
Now look at it.
Well, it's a very funny thing is that J.J. Abrams did Mission Impossible, and Paramount loved him, and they said, "Oh God, we'll give you anything you want. You know, 3 pictures. You know." And he goes, "Well, I want to do this, but the first picture I want to do is Star Trek." And they just went, "Huh?" What?
I mean, I've been saying this for, well, the last 9 years, that film did wonders, because I can't tell you how many people who, right? I mean, 2009 Star Trek, how many people came up to me over the years, you know, as a reviewer, and also because they knew I was a fan, and they just were like, I get it. Finally, I get it. It's like, welcome aboard, Captain. But, you know, when you started doing Next Gen, and you know, you're going through that whole audition process, and like this, there was a lot because of that massive shadow from the original show, the movies. Like, when you all met for the first time, like, do you remember, like, the first time you met Michael and the first time you met Denise? And do you remember your first meetings? Like, hey, how are you?
I remember Michael's because I had not, I was doing a play in San Diego, so I was not able to do some of the bridge stuff, bridge things, and I wasn't around for some of the get-togethers in the beginning because every night I'd have to go do the play. So I'm in the makeup chair, and I had acted a scene where people were on the bridge, but I don't know, I think it was just that I was interacting with Patrick, and so I don't know if I did too much else, but I'm getting my makeup done in the makeup chair, and this really good-looking black man is like coming up, and he's talking as if he knows me, and he's like, yeah, so you know, this and that, and I'm like, great, we're chatting and everything. He goes away, and I said, who is that? And they say, what do you mean that's Michael Dorn? He plays the Klingon. And I went, what? He's the Klingon? I had no clue that that's what he looked like. I thought, you know, 'cause he had fake teeth in, and I was like, I really couldn't believe it. It was really a trip. So I do remember that. And I don't remember officially, maybe when we had our photo taken, because basically our two characters, like, we never talked to each other. It was like crazy, right? You know, there's a woman security guard on the ship. Oh, you know.
Yeah, you would pop in on occasion onto the bridge.
Yeah.
I never went to your
Well, you never got hurt. She was so tough. But I think, it was just one of those things where it was when we did the picture down at the pit. Remember the first year picture?
Right.
That to me was the first day that I actually came on set.
In the litter box.
That's right. And Jonathan and I did the scene where we're looking at fabric in the mall. Oh my God. And but I made a beautiful dress out of that fabric.
Well, and I wasn't cast until they had already been working 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, and I wasn't cast, so I just showed up on the set. Seriously.
Behind me. On the horseshoe.
They said they didn't say, oh, everybody, this is Michael, he's going to be playing me. They just said, okay, stand over there. And I started acting.
We were like, who are you?
Oh, and my introduction to Gates is she's there and we work or whatever it is, and then they had like a little gym that was on the lot for us, not for the whole studio. And so I love to go to the gym, so I was in the gym and I'm working out, and I go by this room, and there's like a little window, and I just happen to go by and I stop and I look, and something catches my eye, and it's Gates in there doing modern dance by herself. And I think I can do it.
Denise, you talked about your mother working on the Paramount lot, and then there you are in 1987, you're working on the Paramount lot. What was it like to walk back on that lot in an official capacity?
Surreal, I gotta tell you, a little surreal, especially, I was now the third generation working on that lot, because there was, there's the Crosby building, which of course was named after me. That was kind of odd. There was, remember that guy, what's his name? Oh God, AC Lyles. AC Lyles was still there, had worked worked with my grandfather
Oh,
on that lot. And he used to tell me all kinds of stories. I used to just, whenever I could, go down and, go, and then what happened? And, and did you know my grandmother? Because, she died way before I was ever born. So, it was just a very, kind of wild way life, works that way.
yeah, wow. I mean, so when you're filming Encounter at Farpoint, and I don't see you get the hang of it, because who knows how long that takes for other people, but when did you finally start to feel like you were, like, getting to know each other off camera and feeling comfortable with each other off camera? Getting to know each other, like feeling like a team.
Yeah, I don't know, I'll speak for myself. Because I was the last one cast, it was sort of like, kind of the odd man out and that type of thing. And everybody was very nice, it wasn't like that, we were all just working. Long hours working. But I think that probably for me, the second year is when it started to kind of really kind of gel.
The year that I was gone.
We were both gone.
The year we were gone, yes.
It started in June.
That was the year that we really felt good about what we were doing.
And then it all fell to hell.
And then she comes back, and then no. But I think the second season for me was when you started going, okay, and we as a group, although we were all headed in that direction, the first season. I mean, I love Denise because she was really kind of not a ringleader, but she had these ideas. And my favorite was they gave us these little bitty dressing rooms that are like, those little tiny motorhomes. And not a motorhome, it's
like a half motor.
that people used to drag behind their car.
Their station wagon in the 50s.
Yeah, they gave us those, which was unair conditioned, all that type of stuff, and it was really pretty horrible. And so Denise had this idea of making a little area, like a little.
I have pictures of it.
What do you call this?
Like a little village, like a motor trailer.
A motor.
Yeah, a trailer park. Yeah.
Trailer park.
It was
Yeah.
great. I have
And she had a fence, a little white fence.
fake palm trees.
And fake
AstroTurf,
AstroTurf.
and lawn chairs and
we would be out there
flamingos.
just having a great,
Yeah.
and they told us don't do that.
They stripped it all down.
I know, and it was actually great.
We were bringing in stuff, we were getting really wild, like we would go over to the prop storage on the Paramount lot, which was vast. I mean, had stuff from the 30s, on through the 80s. And we would just grab stuff and the weirder the better. And, other actors started visiting, like the cast of Cheers would come over, like our little village, and, everybody it became a thing, they were like you'd see tourists walking by on the Paramount
That's what they
lot.
didn't like, but it was so awesome.
It was so
And we were
awesome.
relaxing in our spacesuits, like, hey, how you doing?
Can you imagine, that tour, and they're like, oh, this is the crew of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would
And
have
the
died.
prop department was so awesome.
Yeah.
Another time when it was during descent and I had taken over the captain's chair, they let me redecorate the bridge because I wanted to do that when Patrick came back to shoot his scene. So I had them give me all these frames and we put pictures of Will Wheaton's character up. and then, certain people, so it was like all there. And then I had a champagne bottle thing, and I was in curlers in the bathroom and had all these, props, because I always had props, and the bridge never had props, and I thought, well, let's just throw a lot of props. They were so funny and great, because they worked just as long as
I think the studio just didn't want us to be that close. They figured if and this is
Wanted
one thing,
control.
they want to control, divide and conquer. And if they keep us apart, they can do it. But if we get together, talk, exchange, what our contracts are, stuff like that, they didn't want that.
And I mean, I think, like Brent, I knew Brent from before in New York, and Patrick I met he had come down to see the play, so there were a couple of people I knew. But I know for me, the time that was really fun to hang out was probably more around, what season did Every Good Boy Deserves a Favor? Because Patrick directed a few of us.
What season?
Any of you see it? What season was that? Because that was super fun to go in when Paramount was closed and actually use a room. It was sort of like sneaking into the boss's place or something. They let us rehearse there, and that was like really cool because we sort of felt like we were doing something we weren't supposed to be doing.
Let's take questions. Okay, who's got a question? You got a question? Hi.
Hi, this question is for Gates. One of my favorite movies of all time is Labyrinth. And I didn't know until YouTube put out the making of it to see you there choreographing the Masquerade Ball. So this is one of my favorite rock and roll stars, working with my favorite female Star Trek doctor in one of my favorite fantasy movies. So could you please talk about how you got that job and what it was like to work with David Bowie?
Well, David Bowie was one of the most spectacular artists I'd ever met. And he was just super dreamboat easy. I mean, he was game for anything and everything. He was not at all, I don't want to do this or whatever. He would put on his spike heels as the Goblin King and do whatever. He was awesome to work with. Yeah, I know it was, but he was awesome. And it was a year of my life. I had been groomed for the job. I'll keep it short, but I mean, he had me do several things for him. Something that was like a Big Bird thing. I had gone up to Toronto to just sort of help on, but I did nothing really. And then I did Full Out, a film called Dream Child, for which I didn't have proper working papers. So while I was paid, I was not paid in England, but I did that in England. And that was my test. I didn't know that was my test. And that's also why I got Muppets Take Manhattan. He knew that I taught movement and acting, and he wanted me to work with some of the puppeteers and teach them acting, and also some of the little people, and there was a dwarf who was playing one of the lead characters. So it was a year of my life, and I worked primarily with Hoggle, Ludo. I cast the ballroom scene. I mean, that was a big scene. But I worked with Jennifer. I did coaching with Jennifer. I did a bunch of stuff. I was there every day. So, you know, it was a huge thing. I thought I had never done anything quite like it in my life. But I'm glad you liked the movie. Awesome.
Thanks so much.
Hi, my question is for Denise. Denise, it's your sister, Ishara. You don't call, you don't write. I have to come to Vegas to see you.
I think you need to come up here and give your sister a hug. Come on. It's a reunion. This is what it's all about. Got a little spontaneity here at Star Trek Las Vegas.
I'll see you later, sis. Wow, they cast her well.
I mean, absolutely do. All right, next question.
Hi, I watched Chaos on the Bridge on Netflix, and it portrayed season 1 and 2 as really chaotic due to writer turnover, writer constraints, and so on. And in season 3, maybe it got better. Is that the case? Did you see that at all as actors?
What was it? Slow down.
It sounded like on the writer's side, seasons 1 and 2 were really chaotic because of writer's constraints imposed by Gene and high writer turnover. Was that the case for you? Did you see that as actors? Or?
Oh yeah, it was. That part was pretty rough, just because they were trying to find their footing. They were trying to find, you know, who these people were. Patrick had definitely keeping them sort of in line about how they wanted his character to be portrayed. So, and like I said, there was a high turnover. I mean, there's a lot of writers that went in and out. But, you know, from that chaos, you know, you get something that looks great on screen.
Yes, absolutely. And the third season really, good God, hits right. Last question.
Hello, thank you for coming. Gates, I'd like to piggyback on something you said earlier. I don't know if you all remember the convention. I believe it was 1986. It was probably your first convention in Los Angeles at the Shrine Auditorium. I think it was the last time Gene Roddenberry did a convention. That was my first convention with my sister, and for 32 years we've been coming to Star Trek conventions together. And not only were we bonded by blood, but we were bonded by Star Trek. She passed away in January, and this is the first Star Trek convention I've been to without her. And I just want to let you all know how important and valuable you were to me and my sister. And I love you all. And
Thank you very much.
I know